Hello, welcome back to my channel. So we have this brother who made this video asking everyone who can to, expose the sundown towns in the state that you live in. So let's get into the video and then we are going to talk.
It's no secret that sundown towns still exist in the United States. But something that I think needs to happen is we need to expose sundown towns in the states that we live in. And I'll be the first to start it off. So if you feel inclined to add on to this, then do so. So the sundown town that I'm going to start with is Anna, Illinois. And if you're from Illinois, then you probably heard of this place. See, the racists that lived in Anna, Illinois came up with a nice little catchphrase. And it was, ain't no around. And another reason why I decided to do this video was just to show the world that racism isn't a southern thing. It's everywhere. It's in the north, it's in the west, it's in the east. But yeah, if you watch this and you decide that you want to add to this, please do, because I want to figure out how many sundown towns are still thriving today.
Okay, so you need to stick around for the stitches because I managed to collect a few stitches for you guys. People responded to this video. Make sure you watch this video up to the end and add your own sundown town that you know in the comments section below. Let's talk, let's discuss, guys. So yeah, let's get into the stitches.
The United States.
Hi, my name is Imani and I am a stand-up comedian based out of Oregon. I was basically raised here and out of curiosity, I was like, let me see what sundown towns we have here. I already know about one of them. It's called Lake Oswego, and they literally call it Lake No Negro. But I was like, what else? I perform all over the state. And yeah, a lot of times I'm the only black person I see while I'm there. But I want to know how racist it used to be. Because currently, most people, they don't say nothing to me at all. And it's fine. All I need to do when I go to that city is stand on stage and talk into a microphone for like 10-15 minutes and make them laugh and go. And luckily for me, it has been a successful journey so far. But I am curious. So I'm about to be right back after I look it up. I'm truly not surprised. And I will say that this list is longer than this because I took a screenshot of the first page and not the second. Oregon has a racist history. I mean, black people weren't allowed to live here for a very long time. So it was literally made as a safe haven so white people could be away from black people. But we here now, been here forever. At least I've been here for a while. So yeah, it's an interesting list to look at. Luckily, I have been to damn near every place on this list. And it's been chill. I mean, people look at me. I'm not invisible, so I figured they would. But no one's ever said anything crooked to me, which is great. I mean, Lake Oswego is definitely the racist place on this list because still to this day actively doing some crooked shit to people of color. But it's mostly the youth. If you just Google Lake Oswego High School and just go scrolling through all the racist shit that happens there, thank God I didn't go there. Thank God. But yeah, most of these places, the only thing that you're going to experience is being the only one. Truthfully, you will be the only one when you're in those places, which sucks, but hey, Oregon is like 5% black, so what did you expect to happen?
It's no secret that sundown towns still exist in the United States.
So this guy is absolutely correct. There are still sundown towns in the U.S. And I can't believe it's actually still a thing. But I did look into sundown towns in Michigan, and there are some. Let me show you. In Michigan, we have Dearborn, Melvindale, Ossawa, and Wyandotte. I'm a basically go off of Dearborn because Dearborn is the one I'm most familiar with. And if you are from the Detroit area and you are black, you know we ain't wanted in Dearborn. Okay, it's mostly white and Middle Eastern. It's never been a place that people of us melanated skin have been welcome in. I always used to wonder why my mother had a problem going to Dearborn. Now I see. But check out one of their famous phrases that they used to say in Dearborn. The sun never set on a Negro in Dearborn. And that is why this Negro stays her ass out of Dearborn. But seriously, why are sundown towns a thing still? Like, let's get this shit off the books. Like, it is 2023. This should not be a thing anymore. And people do think that racism only happens a lot in the South. And trust me, it happens up here in the North too. Especially in places like Michigan. Okay?
Please.
Well, all right, I will. No, all right. So I don't got no fancy words in the background. I probably could do that. I don't know how to do that. I'm not even going to try to learn how to do that. Somebody teach me how to do that. But I am not currently in that state, but the state I want to represent and bring forward is Indiana, Hoosier folk state. And the city we're going to talk about is Martinsville, Indiana. Now, I was supposed to go to Bloomington one year to go visit a friend of mine and try to start a new life over in Bloomington, Indiana. And she had told me, hey, I don't know reason why they're telling me to tell you this, but when you drive to Martinsville, just keep going. Don't stop. Just drive through it. Do not get stuck in Martinsville, Indiana. I said, okay. Push come to shove. I did not get to go to Bloomington to live at that time. But that particular weekend that I was supposed to move there, and I didn't go there, I stayed back in my hometown of Gary, Indiana, and I was watching a show, and they happened to talk about sundown towns, and they brought up Martinsville, Indiana. Now, I'm like, am I being watched? Did they know this? How did they bring this up? Martinsville, Indiana has a ugly mark on its name because of the fact that back in the 60s, I think, we'll say 40s, 50s, 60s, one of those, young black girl was selling encyclopedias, and her family let her do this in Martinsville, unbeknownst to them, I guess, as to what happens after dark. Anyway, she was selling encyclopedias, and she ended up getting stuck in Martinsville after dark and was murdered. People want to say it was some out-of-towners that came in. These people were not from Martinsville. It didn't matter. They were there at that time, what they would consider to be a sundown town. The girl was murdered. Nobody went to jail. And to this day, people are saying, hey, don't go to Martinsville. And they can't tell you why. Hey, if you're black, don't go to Martinsville. If you're brown, don't go to Martinsville. They can only tell you that it's got a bad name to it and minorities are not welcome there, but they can't tell you why. The hatred has lost the history, though the history is there for those who know it. Push fast forward to where basketball teams have been known to be problematic to guest basketball teams. So like the home state basketball team, the home city, they would be a-holes towards guests. And so that is paling in comparison, ironically, paling in comparison to the fact that a young black girl lost her life simply for existing in a town after sundown. So yeah, Indiana, Martinsville, blow it up or get better.
The United States.
For a lot of y'all that do not know, the Midwest is like one of the most racist places in the United States. It's not the South. It's actually the mid-fucking West. And specifically, I'm talking about Indiana and Iowa. Those are places that black people do not belong. And I say this all the time. And I've lived in Indiana, and I can tell you right now, I absolutely hated it. But Iowa, you could not pay me as a black person to live in Iowa. Y'all be thinking that the South is bad, bro. I've been to the South, and I felt way more welcome and comfortable in the South than I did in the Midwest. And I've lived in the Midwest my whole life. But if you've ever lived in Illinois, pretty much every southern town in Illinois is a sundown town. Like, y'all don't believe me asking people to live in Illinois. I lived in Chicago for 36 years. But I have traveled Illinois like so many times, up and down all through Illinois. And pretty much every southern town in Illinois is a sundown town. The further you get into Illinois, almost going into St. Louis, the absolute worst it gets. And baby, don't even get me started on St. Louis. Missouri in the whole is terrible. But y'all think the South is bad? Baby, you ain't been to the Midwest. Child, it is a mess. An absolute mess.
Okay, so let's talk about the sundown towns. Back a little bit of history on sundown towns, guys. So according to Google, sundown towns are also known as sunset towns, gray towns, or sundowner towns are all white municipalities or neighborhoods in the United States that practice a form of racial segregation by excluding non-whites via some combination of discriminatory laws, intimidation, or violence. The term came into use because of signs that directed colored people to leave town by sunset. Okay, so the entire sundown counties and sundown suburbs were created as well. The practice was not restricted to the southern states, with New Jersey and other northern states being described as equally inhospitable to black travelers until at least the early 1960s. While the number of sundown towns decreased following the civil rights movement, some commentators hold that certain 21st century practices perpetuate a modified version of the sundown town. Discriminatory policies and actions distinguish sundown towns from towns that have no black residents for demographic reasons. Historically, towns have been confirmed as sundown towns by newspaper articles, county histories, and work progress administration files. This information has been corroborated by tax or U.S. Census records showing an absence of black people or a sharp drop in black population. 2 censuses. Yeah. So guys, that's what I had for you. That's why the information I had for you. But please make sure you leave your own thoughts in the comment section below. Mention any sundown town that you know in the comment section below. Subscribe if you are not subscribed to this channel. Turn on your notification bell so that every time I upload such videos, you'll be notified. I will definitely see you in my next video. Peace.